Welcome to the Crimson Guitars Workshops. This is going to be a short demo on how to do basic inlay work. We have a custom Explorer type guitar that we haven't quite finished building yet, and I've inlaid a solid silver tribal pattern down the fretboard, and today I'm going to show you the process involved in inlaying our logo, again in silver. Now, inlaying metal is much easier than some other materials because it's hard and predictable and easy to work. Tools you will need are, most importantly, a good little jeweler's saw, a fresh scalpel or other very sharp knife, but I prefer brand new scalpel blades, and some way of recessing the cavities, so chisels or a Dremel multi-tool or similar, and glue and an inlay and a guitar. Well, here we have it. Let us see how this process begins. We start off with this little jig in the bench vise. It's got a triangle cut out, and that helps cut your inlay accurately. It supports it on either side. A lot of people will have a small vacuum dust extraction system hooked up here, and I do when I'm using mother of pearl and doing a lot of inlay work. In general use I don't bother though. Now we'll need our material. It's a bag of silver and left over from doing the fretboard work. That looks like that area will do perfectly fine. The next stage is to mark out your inlay. Now the easiest thing to do is to print out the design. In this case it's just the Crimson Guitars logo. Yes, if it's printed out, it makes this job much easier. You will want to tape this on to your material. Standard masking tape tends to be transparent enough for this job. Obviously I have a straight line, so I'm trying to line that up with the top edge of this silver stock. Very carefully, using a new scalpel blade, you mark out the outline of your inlay. Once you remove your tape, your inlay design, you have the basics ready to go. I have several little jeweler's saws that I use on a regular basis. This is the beauty for the smaller work. They are fully adjustable like that, so that you can utilize smaller bits of blade, because inevitably you will break blades. And now I've lost the position for the full blade. Obviously little wing nuts will help fix your blade in, and a little bit of pressure just to keep some tension on the blade. Here you have that. This is another one. This is a slightly more modern version, but and obviously for longer work. You keep the edge that you're cutting as close to the V as possible. so that your material is fully supported, and your blade has to be perpendicular. And it takes a little bit of practice, but with thin material you shouldn't really have a problem. And there you have a perfect, shiny, hard to film little inlay. In order to finalize your shape, I use various little jeweler's files just to bring the material down to the actual line. Although, as you see, we managed to cut very, very close to the final shape already. This is just tidying it up. Just very carefully notching the letters. We start off by figuring out exactly where the inlay will be going, and I want it to be centered, like so. Now at this point, most people would say, and I would advise if you've never done this before, to stick it down with double-sided tape. I tend not to do this because I trust my fingers, for one, and the second point is that once you've stuck something down with strong double-sided tape, you are liable to break your inlay. Obviously not this metal, but mother of pearl, etc. is brittle, and you don't want to break your inlay after just spending so much time cutting it out. At this point, I always put a brand new scalpel blade in. It's absolutely essential that you have got the point that you require. And here we go. You hold your piece down so that it doesn't move, and use your scalpel blade to mark around. This is by far the best way to get the tightest fit possible. In fact, often you will have to make the cavity slightly larger because it's too tight.